Ouachita One Table. Ouachita One Table podcast is a deeper discussion of issues facing our business communities. Over this series, we'll invite community leaders and businesses, the arts, nonprofits, culture, and government as we discuss the issues that strike at the heart of the Chamber's mission for the greater good of our parish. Topics such as workforce development, education, quality of life, economic development, and more. Ouachita One Table. This podcast is a partnership project of the Monroe and West Monroe West Ouachita Chambers of Commerce and was produced by Godly Works Productions in the Louisiana Catalyst Podcast Studios at the Benoit Community Center. Now, here are your hosts, Roy Heatherly and Christopher Kelly.
Hello, everyone, and welcome again to Ouachita One Table. I am Roy Heatherly with the Monroe Chamber of Commerce, and I'm joined, as always, with my good friend, game changer, difference maker,
Christopher Kelly with the West Monroe West Ouachita Chamber. What a hard title to live up to, but thank you. That's very kind. And today we have an amazing, another game changer in our community, which is VC from the Small Business Development Center. So welcome.
Thank you.
And he also is with the Biomedical Research and Innovation Part. VC, welcome.
Thank you.
I was going to say Virendra Chhikara. How close was that? Was that pretty close?
Yeah, that's
See, I was going to do it, but everybody knows him as VC.
I can't do it.
So VC, before we get into the Small Business Development Center and before we get into Biomedical Research Park, tell us a little bit about yourself for those who may not know you.
Well, it's a lot to tell in a few seconds, but all I can say is I got 2 masters. Number one was chemistry back in 2003.
Yay, another
Kelly,
chemist.
Yay. So we are genius. And then the
And
next
everyone immediately stopped listening to the podcast.
Come back.
come back, yeah. So we usually live out of humanity, so that's the comeback. So 4 years I worked with pharmaceutical as a research scientist, and after that I was 27 years old, and I decided, hey, let's move somewhere which is nicer, quieter, and has opportunity to grow. And I landed in Monroe back in 2007 at ULM, finished my MBA in 2009, and I love the town, and I see the potential, like what you see and what you see in the city. And since then, I'm working with Small Business Development Center. I think the whole philosophy of helping businesses changed my thought process. My career goals and everything is very rewarding when you work with small businesses
We
and
think
grow.
so too.
Yes,
Yeah,
very
for
much so. That's
And
the backbone of our
that's-
community.
That is exactly, and if you can work on the backbone, that's the issue with every human body, right? And there comes the biomedical research part.
Well, tell us about SBDC.
So you might have, most of the town or Northeast Louisiana has definitely heard a lot about LSBTC, that's Louisiana Small Business Development Center. So Roy, what we do is if a business or any entrepreneur is there and they have an idea, they want to start some business, we hold their hand, walk them through the process. We prepare them for the future. So it's not about we give them a magic pill that, hey, take this, take the financial plan that we worked on, do the cash flow analysis, and go to the bank or any investor or put your own money and start the business. We actually talk to them. We give them homework to do. And those are basic things. Don't be scared, as in we work mostly on the cash flow analysis. We do market research, and we help them during that transition. The biggest problem, what you will see in most of the cities these days, is there's a bunch of information floating around. You go to YouTube Academy.
Information and quotation points.
Yes, you go to YouTube Academy, Facebook Academies, Instagrams, and there are a bunch of
Or
counselors.
maybe don't do that.
Or don't do that, right? Versus, again, sometimes it's old school, and right now, because of pandemic, we have done many things virtually.
Sure.
So that helps people not to come out of their house, but we can meet via Zoom and Google. We counsel them, we talk to them, we take them to that next level. If you are thinking like any parent, or now in your case, grandparent, we all think that, I have to throw that,
Yeah, I know
right?
you did. Thank you.
We share the same birthday, so not the year. So when we are talking about every parent thinks their kid is the most beautiful kid ever, right? Same way any entrepreneur thinks their idea and their business is the best business they can think about. Business is not about 1 year or 2 year or 5 year. It's a lifelong game changer. You cannot go back and forth in between starting a business and starting a career. And you cannot do that. You have to stick at some point. Let's do it. This is my option. Let's do it right. And we are there to help you in that process. So we don't charge anything at any point. We have federally and state funding. SBA is our federal partner, and LED, that's Louisiana Economic Development, that's our local state partner, and that ULM hosts us, and they do cash match. As you know, Kelly, we have worked in the past a lot through the training programs for the businesses, preparing them, roundtables. And we kind of make that overall development of an entrepreneur because they know what they are looking out of the business. But what we prepare them is, do you really know what's coming in next 2 years?
Yeah, because everybody wants to be their own boss.
Right.
Yeah.
But the reality of being in small businesses, and I say it all the time, because it will scare the pants off you if you really think about it. You're your own financial guy, your own marketer, your own everything. At the very beginning, it's humbling and you can get burned out, and taking those wrong paths is really hard. It can be catastrophic in many cases. This is why so many small businesses don't succeed. So having a good partner at the beginning, guiding you, thinking, being maybe a little bit practical, like, for example, do you want to put your ice cream shop down across the street from Baskin-Robbins? Probably not. Do you want to put one in a community that has 9 other ice cream shops at all? Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Yeah. So the market research is, you may be passionate about the thing, but doing it every day is a whole different thing.
Yeah, I think me and Roy, we may have this discussion last year and it was just casual. And market research, maybe it was someone else. Like we kind of discussed after high school, we think about colleges.
Sure.
We think about career path. Same way goes to the business owners, right? Do you know your demographics? What are you serving?
Yeah.
If you are serving a very young, vibrant, 20, 21 years age target community, where should you be? That should be next to ULM pretty much, right? That's a no-brainer. If you're talking Monroe. Now, let's move that to some other cities in Northeast Louisiana. So think from that angle, and market research is, I will say, we mostly start from there, both primary and secondary research. And as in state, kind of like whole program, SBDC, we have some tools that we can use to generate some quality data, just not from census.gov or something, but actually produce some quality data. Sometimes businesses, they're smart people. Business owners are very smart. They change their hat all the time. They're accountant once, and all of a sudden they are magicians and bringing clients. But then you have, as a leader, every leader has blind spots. And the great leader has less and less blind spots. So we take care of those blind spots, and that's the crucial part of your leadership skill. So
How does that entrepreneur that's out there listening, how do they get started with you?
well, it's a very simple process. They can call us at 318-342-1224. That's the direct phone number.
Okay.
Or they can go to the website. That's www.louisianasbdc.org. There's a simple counseling tab under Monroe Counseling Center. You just fill out a simple form, and that's basic information that's required by SBA for us to start working with the client. And that's it's a confidential service. We do not talk to any other person without your permission. If you do not give us permission, we won't even say your name. So it's one of our we are proud of keeping that
And
standard.
what's your boundaries
Define that.
geographically?
So you can consider up till Shreveport, roughly around there, and then going all the way to Concordia Parish, Oak Grove, so whole northeast
whole corner
Louisiana.
of the
Yeah.
state.
Yeah.
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 I-20. I say I-20. How about
Yeah,
that?
that's an intimidating geography. So,
Yes.
so you must be, like you said, doing a lot more remote connections with people.
Quite a bit. So the program works. There are certain metrics we have to follow. and we serve 15 parishes in Northeast Louisiana.
Wow.
Now, majority of that is definitely Ouachita Parish, because
Sure.
that's the concentration, and then comes the Lincoln Parish, and then Morehouse because of Farmer Bill and all. So that all of a sudden, then you're shifting from Rayville to Concordia, and then now the smaller parishes with lesser businesses are there. So demographics or matrix are flowing based on the population, same as our budget, right? So yeah, that's a lot to cover. But we do partners with local chambers, police juries, banks, mayor offices in many cases. So they are very good supporter to us. We have great relationship in those communities.
One of the things that we talk to small businesses about a lot is social media. So it's humbling to think that I can access everyone, but I'm also more and more drowned out by everyone too.
Right.
So yes, I can post something on my social media and maybe I can reach Roy, but 75 other people can too, or 750 or 7,500 people can. So I think it's even more competitive in this environment that you have to really identify your demographics, who your target audience is. And when we talk to a lot of our small businesses, I think that's the number one thing that they're ill defining is, who am I really going after as a target?
Yeah,
You know?
that's absolutely right. So Facebook, if you look at the Facebook, that's kind of old generation, kind of me.
Oh, crap,
not
we're
like
old.
you. But
I'm a TikTok guy. What are you talking about?
yeah. Well,
He does
he's
all the
level up.
dances. He does all the dances.
There are some negatives with TikTok, so
Yes, there are.
be careful.
Yes, there are.
Because you can't do the dances.
But hey, I'm addicted to TikTok. I should not say that on screen.
Endless
but-
scrolling.
But Instagram is a place where, again, what you said makes absolute sense. Some of your clients, your marketing strategies, your marketing plan should be driven by your customer. You have to understand your target audience. If you do not understand your target audience, and you will say, yeah, I want to publish my business in the biggest circulating newspaper in the world. I'll use Dr. Dunn's analogy, and then I'll say, yeah, go post in Shanghai Times.
Right.
So, well, that doesn't make sense. That's not here. Then why are you talking about one of the most
Right. Yeah.
circulated? Go with which one you can go.
Right.
And again, not based on what you think, is based on what your client,
Right.
where do they live, how do they look like, when
Right.
do they shop, and how do they feel. If you're selling Ferrari in Monroe, it's not like people will not buy, but there will be only few.
Yes.
But when you do the same thing in Dallas, and that's why they're in Dallas, not in Monroe.
Sure.
Like
market
that's
is there.
understanding the market. But then Toyota, Honda, all the middle class kind of, that's their target audience. That's mostly here.
Yeah.
So we can come back to SBDC, but I want to make sure we talk a little bit about the Biomedical Research Innovation Park and how you got involved with that and what exactly that is and why now and why here.
So great point. It's tough to, again, as I said, some projects cannot be defined in 5 minutes or 10 minutes, because you sit on the board, both of you, and Biomedical Research and Innovation Park is a vision. It's a vision where we can take this local economy and develop that IP or the technology piece of it. What will happen is, and we are struggling for a while, especially since 2008, after the downtime, that economies are not really truly growing. They are just circulating their own money. With this project, we are giving an opportunity to a future generation that they can think out of the box.
Right.
They can think like a scientist, like don't be scared, but most scientific innovations are accidental. Right? So anyone can come up with that, and we have track record, as in again I go back to SBDC, and there's a reason for that. There are so many innovations we have came through our eyes, and those are just from a regular person. They are not engineer or anything, right? So to promote this, to promote that biomedical research and innovation, there was a vision that was set many years back, and many people were involved, including the different mayors, different personalities out of the community. It's a community involvement. It's a university-powered project. It's all our delegation you can think about. And Roy, you know what we did in the last 6 months. And everyone followed one vision. and that is to promote technology, innovation,
And
ultimately
ultimately, a new
grow.
physical space.
Oh yes,
For a
definitely.
collaborative area that allows for if I want to go back into biochemistry and I want to experiment in this space. Otherwise, it'd be almost impossible to access that kind of space.
Yes.
Just the physical infrastructure.
Think about it. We have a few wonderful colleges within 30-mile radius. We always say that. And then why don't we produce enough of research products or kind of a quality product coming out?
So how critical is ULM School of Pharmacy and VCOM to what you're doing with this?
I will say they will be almost close to the backbone, because that's where the intellectual property or IP will come from. So the professors, students, think from that angle. They are all involved with research. They're all thinking, even Delta, they're all thinking about making something better. Science or innovation is nothing but simplifying your life and being really innovative about the products, right? So that's what, this is a platform. This is that collaborative platform where ULM will be involved, the professors will be involved. The stage we are at is we are identifying some of the research that we can commercialize. College of Pharmacy is critical piece to that, no doubt about it. But then you have biology department, then you have drone capacities, then you have cyber, then you have psychology. So when we say biomedical research and innovation park is more sort of in biome. This is where life happens. So this project is just not of city or ULM or VCOM. This is our project. This is that regional approach. So this is the platform. If you notice any big city, they all have research parks, and they have done amazing job. 5 years, 300 million economic impact. That's a huge.
Sure. So you're just, giving birth to ideas across the continuum, giving them a space to flourish before they're ready to go out and be independent. And, if it's pharmaceutical, it's bought up by Pfizer. If it's agricultural, it's grabbed by some other Helena seed company or something like that.
Yeah, that's absolutely.
So with the short time we have remaining, okay, you came here, you chose to stay here because you love it. As the biomedical research park begins to evolve, the building's up, people are going to be recruited in. You're going to be the forefront of that. So why tell someone, like, pretend I'm a scientist from another town. Why would I want to come to Monroe, Louisiana, and West Monroe, Louisiana, and Ouachita Parish?
Oh, that's a loaded question, Roy. I was expecting it's an ex-journalist, I guess, that's coming out, right? Thank you for doing that on the screen. So, great question. Why someone should move down here? Now that again goes back to your previous question, and see the circle?
Yes, I see
I'm
that.
getting better with the journalism now.
That's great.
So ULM, VCOM, professors, students, when they have a complementary product, someone is doing the similar research, they can come and collaborate.
Right.
They can go to that next level. Initial scientists or innovators, they don't really want to spend too much money into that. And they are looking for quality brain. So the collaborations are easy with the students and the campuses, right? So that's one way of looking at it. Then we will also provide them resources as an equity investors and venture capitalists. That will be our next level, when we will generate these resources for them. And that's the role of Research Park. So now I will give you one example. I know we are running out of time, but let's say you are in pharmaceutical and you are experimenting a drug. Let's face it, we have some issues as in cancer issues. Now, if you want to go in that direction, which place should be better? Like, there's no other place better than Monroe, to be honest, unfortunately. But I'm going the direction of the Research College of Pharmacy does. Biology department has some similar things that can be collaborated with. And clinical trials, we could be the hub of clinical trials. We have chemical plants that can supply to those researchers. We have API plant within 100-mile radius or 120-mile radius that can supply to that. We can definitely bring in a pharmaceutical and provide them the workforce, because we are producing right here in Monroe. right? So any company, and you are with the site selectors, what they're looking for is they start from the workforce. We do have the workforce, we do have the intellectual property, we do have the power to support the projects. We have been approached indirectly and directly. BRIP has been involved with Research Park Association, and we collaborate in many senses. Wet labs, you might have heard about those. If one person can do this, why can't other person?
Sure.
Now think from different angle. All the money that's going to be generated for the project is not something that we are circulating through the society or within the society. Is coming from outside. So it's the money pouring in from outside within the community. New investment. And that's the true economic development push, and that's what we are promoting. So people will choose Monroe based on intellectual properties, based on the research capacities, and we don't want to be the best kept secret. We have resources, and that's why the project is the vision I'm talking about.
Right.
That is not my or your vision, it's our vision collectively.
And a collaborative vision of some astonishing groups.
Yeah.
You know, you
Absolutely.
have, as you mentioned, the university, you have chambers, you have all these different entities that are cobbled together in one vision, which takes a lot of effort. So we applaud you for sustaining that over time. And now it seems like it's almost at critical mass moving forward, which is exciting to see.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's a huge momentum, and you will hear more about it. And we should do another podcast just about that.
Well, I was just going to say, as we close today, we want to thank you for coming on, but we want to get you back here and give us updates and give the community updates as to what's going on, because this is exciting. And you're right. We don't want to keep it a secret. We want people, we want people to brag on some of the stuff you're doing. So thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you, Roy.
So I'm Roy Heatherly with the Monroe Chamber. We've been joined today by VC with the SBDC and the Biomedical Research Innovation Park. And like always, I've been joined with my good friend,
Christopher Kelly with the West Monroe West Ouachita Chamber of Commerce. And this has been Ouachita One Table. Thank you for watching.
You've been listening to Ouachita One Table with Christopher Kelly and Roy Heatherly. This podcast is a partnership project of the Monroe and West Monroe West Ouachita Chambers of Commerce and was produced by Godly Works Production in the Louisiana Catalyst Podcast Studios at the Benoit Community Center.